Jean-Paul Sartre was a 20th century French philosopher, most renowned for his groundbreaking work on existentialism. Paul is a 2011 film about weed-smoking Seth Rogen playing weed-smoking Paul, an alien. Though perhaps these two concepts aren't so alien from one another. For Sartre, a film about an all-knowing being coming down from the sky and interacting with ordinary people would be the perfect springboard for his theories. In this video essay, I will put forth the argument that Paul is a Satrean manifesto in 3 parts that explore Sartre's ideas of the absurdity of existence, consciousness and free will, and bad faith. The absurdity of existence. Absurdity is the idea that existence exists necessarily and without explanation. It is absurd for humans to project their own rationale onto it and to try to make sense or meaning of it. In Sartre's book Nausea, we follow the life of writer Roquin, who is experiencing sudden breaks from his understanding of life. He is gripped by fear and anxiety as he stops seeing the world from a human understanding, but from an objective standpoint, a meaningless world that exists necessarily, unfathomably, and without concern for his or humanity's understandings. In Paul, this is expressed by Paul's presence in this world strips away the veneer of human understanding. The world suddenly becomes absurd. Paul, when talking about absurdity, Paul being a comedy is so poignant. For example, what else would you offer someone who has just had their system for understanding the world stripped away?
Hello, Ruth. Would you like a cup of tea?
Consciousness and free will. The most important axiom of Sartre's philosophy is existence precedes essence. That is, everything exists and essence or purpose or qualities come after. Sartre divided beings into 2, being of itself and being for itself. Beings of itself simply exist, uncreated, negated by nothing. Beings for itself shape their ideal life and strive towards that, each decision negating their past. This to Sartre is consciousness. These beings are humans. A negation of our past grants us total freedom. In the scene from Paul, Ruth's preconceptions of existence are on show.
Knowledge that God made heaven and earth and created us all in his own image.
Oh, his own image? Well,
That is until Paul shows himself.
how do you explain me?
In this moment, her new future has negated her entire past. Existence has revealed itself to her in the form of the inexplicable but also rather mundane appearance of Paul, and when she wakes up, both literally and figuratively, she is gifted with the ultimate knowledge of the universe. God does not exist, her moral system is corrupted, life is meaningless.
My existence only disproves traditional notions of the Abrahamic Judeo-Christian God, as well as all one-world theology. That's all I meant.
Additionally, the visual of her blind eye being repaired is interesting. In her faith she was blind, even though she thought she was enlightened. But now she has given up her faith and been stripped away, she has infinite opportunity. She can see. What follows for Ruth is an explosion of freedom.
Stop!
This is because you have your whole life to explore new things.
This realization of her own freedom is what Sartre calls anguish, and why she acts so irrationally. Anguish is the feeling we are confronted with when we understand we have total freedom and responsibility for our own lives. However, we do not have the infinite wisdom of the universe, so we don't know what we ought to do. Bad faith. Ruth's father is the epitome of bad faith. Sartre describes bad faith as a being for itself choosing to be a being without choice. The being objectifies themselves and is no longer creating themselves in their own vision. They instead are trapped in the vision of someone else. For Ruth's father, this is most evident at the end. Paul has just healed Gareth and Ruth's father instantly exclaims, "Miracle." This man's faith supersedes the sense of self. He is a Christian before he is a man. He is an object, only existing in relation to religion. Ruth's father's bad faith, says Sartre, is a way to avoid the anguish of freedom. Instead of accepting the nature of existence that has been displayed to him and disproving of his faith, Ruth's father makes the choice to incorporate the alien into his faith. Sartre would say he is enslaved in his bad faith, and it is his choice to be enslaved. In conclusion, Paul works as a good springboard to discuss Sartre's ideas, especially in how Paul's presence changes Ruth and her father's faith.